few different ways to solve percent problems, but we're going to focus on one particular type of solving. This is called direct translation. What we're going to do is we're going to take a percent question and translate it directly into an algebra equation, solve the algebra equation, and then write out our answer. This is the method that we're practicing during this worksheet. Please make sure that when you do your worksheet, you follow these examples. In this question right here, the thing that we don't know is the number right there. That's where we're going to put our variable. So this would be n, because it's what number? We don't know, so let's call it n, or x. It's the same as an equal sign. When we write our percent, we're going to either change it into a fraction, which would be 30 over 100, or more commonly, we're going to change it into a decimal. It's very important that your percents are written as decimals. So 30 divided by 100 is the decimal 30 hundredths. Notice we just moved the decimal place back twice, which you've practiced in your previous modules. Of becomes multiplication. 60, of course, is just 60 because it doesn't have a percent sign or anything. So what number is n? Is becomes equals. 30% becomes 30 hundredths. Of becomes times. 60 becomes 60. Now this particular unit, you're allowed to use a calculator. So all that you would do here is multiply those together and get 18. And then because we didn't ask you about n, we asked you what number, you would write the number is 18 and be done with the problem. Again, the most critical part that we're looking for when grading your papers is the direct translation that gave us an equation. This part, which is your work, a lot of it will be done on the calculator. And then we need to see your sentence answer. Let's look at this problem. In this case, the question is, what percent? So actually our answer, our unknown, is going to be the percent. Of is multiplication, 40 is just 40, is becomes equal, and 15 stays 15. Now we have an algebra equation. Again, that's what we're looking for. An algebra equation that we can solve to get the answer to our question. So since this is n times 40, we're going to divide by 40, which means we need to divide this side by 40. Again, calculator, we get a nice answer that looks like that. Now, when we were working this problem, referring back up to here, when we were working this problem, this was a decimal. We changed our percent into a decimal. So when we're going in the other direction, we need to change our decimal into a percent. So we found the number. We found the decimal number. We need to change that into a percent. We change a decimal into a percent by multiplying by 100 or moving our decimal twice. So the answer, what percent, is 37.5 because we would move this twice, so it would put it here, percent. And there's our answer. Let's look at this last problem. 30 is 20% of what number? So again, keeping in mind this is direct translation that we're working on, 30 stays 30, is becomes equals 20% we change to a decimal. Very important, change it to a decimal. So 20 hundredths, of is times, and this right here are unknown. So we have directly translated that into an algebra sentence. We divide because that's multiply. We divide both sides. When we use our calculator, we get 30 divided by 0.2 is 150 equals n. We again need to answer the question. The number is 150. When you do your problems, direct translation, if there was an algebra step to show, make sure that you're showing that step. Final solution to the equation, and then an answer to the question. All of these parts should show up on your paper. Now you have a few problems to try on your own, about 16 of them, where you're going to do direct translation, solve it, write out your answer. When you're done with that, there will be a part 2 where you will actually do real questions and come up with your own equations. If you have any questions, please be sure to ask a tutor or an instructor.